Hello and welcome back to another video. So I've just been above to check on the cattle there and I'm on my way down now to do a job. Sorry if I'm looking a bit strange on camera. I'm trying to walk very gingerly over this reseed. I'm not sure if you can hear it underfoot, but it's squelching. The ground is saturated up here. I suppose it has no cover either, so it's just going to be a bit wetter. But we have gotten some amount of rain. We've gone from 27-degree heat, which for me is just too much, but it was lovely non-stop sunshine to straight away just torrential rain for the past 5 days. I did not see the mountains for 5 days. Today is the first day I've seen the sun for 5 days. It's just been non-stop, just constant rain. A little bit yesterday evening, there was a bit of a dry spell there, but I had the green cert, so I couldn't avail of it. But I'm out this evening to try and finish off a job I started on the last day of the fine weather. I'm just, as I said, in the reseed now. Just seeing the first signs of life in here, just the odd green shoot every now and then, but it's great to see it. And you can see there it's looking quite good behind me. A few stones to pick, a few sods, but overall it's very, very nice. But in today's video anyway, the main job I'm going to do is to fence the reseed below that's ready for grazing. Now, we're kind of doing it backwards because the cattle are already in there grazing it. I had to move them and I thought I would get a chance to do the fencing after work, but I just couldn't. I would have been doing it in torrential rain and it honestly just wouldn't have been worth it. So I've left it off and I've just put up a temporary wire for them for now, and it seems to be working okay. I'll see if I can move it further today, but if not, I'll put them to the field on the other side of the passage. Keep them out of my way while I'm doing a bit of work. But yes, we started this video the last day of the fine weather. We couldn't get a whole lot done though because it was so warm. But we managed to put up our 2 strainers. I'm going to talk you through it. I have recorded it. I just didn't do any talking because I was a mess in the heat. So I said I'd leave that for a voiceover, and I'll get a bit covered today as well, I hope. And then I'll probably get the vast majority of the work done tomorrow morning. I have my hair in the afternoon, so you know, priorities. I'll just have to get out of the bed a bit earlier and try and get the fencing done before I go. But I'll give you a look at what we're trying this time because we are doing something different and trying something that we haven't tried before. So I'll go down now and give you a look at what I am talking about. I've given them some grass there behind me now. And I don't know, is this field cursed or what, since we've done the reseed, but I'll show you how wet it is down here. I thought above was wet. It is nothing compared to down here. And look, that corner up there tends to be very wet. You will have seen before the reseed was done, it was all rushes and things. And over there has been rushes for as long as I remember. All that side over there by the road where you can see the cars going was always wet, but in here where they've just grazed is really wet, and they haven't done too much damage. Like, it'll be fine, but they've dug it up a bit, and there's a couple of patches where they've probably done a bit of damage, but I'm hoping it'll be okay once the grass grows back. I'll show you how wet it is though, but that'll show you the amount of rain that fell, because all year I've been saying the rain has missed us, but these past 5 days everything came from the southwest, so we got absolutely everything before it went to the rest of the country. But I'll bring over the camera and show you. So this I'm not overly worried about. I mean, there's a bit of damage done, but that'll come back all right, I hope. But then you've other sections where I don't know what they were doing there to make it that bad. Maybe it was a bit of a bare patch anyway and they just made it a bit worse. It's also pushed up a load of stones So that's not ideal either. But we're just coming into the real wet patch here now. So you can see there, it's just all sitting on the ground. All there, it's from here over, really, is just completely wet. I mean, oh my God. So, I don't know what we do with this. Should we have drained it? We have put in drains down by the ditch there. There was no drain there before. Dad actually got that done a few years ago. I think he did it when we put in this passageway here between the two fields. I think he put that drain in over there because all the rain, or all the water, rainwater from the road was just flowing into the field. But now that drain does tend to take a lot of the water away from over here, but as you can see, not the rain that's actually falling on the field itself, but this, compared to this, you'd never think there was a problem if you just looked there. That's my special little boy there. He's doing really well at the moment, so hopefully he continues. He's growing, he's putting on a bit of condition. Look at the backside on him. So, fingers crossed now he continues to thrive away. But this is what I like to see. He's the head down with all the other calves. That's what I was kind of commenting on a few videos ago, that I just never really saw him getting stuck in. So, yes, I'm talking about you. But this is what we're trying. So we've gone with the steel posts. These are Clip-X ones. I don't know, is there any, I know Tornado are doing some. So we went with the Clip-X ones. Couple of reasons why. First of all, Dad wanted to try these, which is very surprising considering the price of them. I was shocked that he would even consider using these, but anyway. Dad said he wanted to try them out, and I thought here might be a good place to try them because we need to fence the cattle away from Mum and Dad's new fence, because obviously they don't want them scratching up against it, because that's the first thing they'll do if they get at it. So we're going to put these up every 4 posts of the concrete fence there, and I think it might just look a bit sleeker than if we put these big timber posts up there. Another reason is obviously they are supposed to last a lot longer than timber, so it's going to be interesting to see how they do. And I'm also thinking it might be easier to drive these. Now the weather is on my side for doing this today, because the ground should surely be good and soft. The only problem we have here is I don't know how far the concrete around those concrete posts comes out, so we'll kind of have to play it by ear, because I do want a straight line, but if the concrete is different for all of them, it just might make it a bit messy, but we'll see how we go. I have a driver for this, so it just goes over the post. I'll show you anyway, and I should be able to just hit these into the ground. But yeah, that's what we're going to try today. But first, I'm going to show you the hardship we endured in 27-degree heat before we had, what did we have that day? Oh, the Kerry match was on actually, and that was a good result, the semi-final. The final will be after this video comes out, so we'll see how good that goes. But yeah, I'll show you that, give you a bit of a voiceover to explain what we were doing and why we were doing it and the way we were doing it. So we started with the straining post on this end of the field, because this is where we kind of encountered a problem, and we're talking through how we were going to set up a strainer here. The problem being that that is the pillar for the wall on the house, and we just weren't sure how we would drive something there. So Dad came up with the idea then to just attach something to the wall. But then he also realised that the capping on top of that pillar there would interfere with the post that we would attach to it. So then he came up with this idea, just to keep it out a bit. So you'll see we have just small blocks behind that bit of a stake there. and that just means it's not going to be hitting off the capping on the pillar. He's just measuring out here so that it lines up with the blockwork, something that obviously I wouldn't have thought of either. Dad came up with all the ideas for this. I was just the implementer as usual. So we fixed the 2 blocks behind this post anyway, and then after that then I just put in another 2 long screws just to shore it up, because it will be taking a bit of tension. But once we had the 2 in, it was fairly easy after that. One thing Dad did find was that maybe the screws were a little bit too small, and he was concerned that it just would not take the strain even with the extra screws in. So we actually went back up to the garage after this and found some washers, and we put them on with the screws, and it seemed to make all the difference. It really shored up the whole thing. So I am doing this slowly because I was told to do it slowly, not because I'm bad at using the machine, but you could also say I'm bad at using the machine. But that is me there just putting on the washer. So yeah, again, these are all kind of tricks of the trade that I'm hopefully going to remember in the future, because it's just not something that I would have thought of if I was doing this myself, to be honest. But yeah, it's very, very handy to have Dad around to point out these things and to learn these things from him, because yeah, I'd probably be paying someone to do this otherwise. But that's it. I mean, it doesn't look like the fanciest thing, but it's in and it's sturdy. So then we had to put in the next straining post. So you could say this was easier or this was harder. I'm not sure. Technically easier, physically harder is what I would say. So these straining posts are fairly big. The only way that I would be able to drive it is to dig a hole. And that's exactly what I did. Don't worry, I'm not going to show you me digging a hole for the 25 minutes or however long it took. I have it sped up and it went on even longer than this, but you get the idea. Then I thought, you know, people told me use the loader to drive your posts, it'll be much easier. Either you guys lied to me or I did it wrong, because this made zero difference. It just made absolutely no difference. It didn't push it in any bit. Now maybe that's because it's a strainer and you guys were talking about posts. I don't know, but look at this. It did not move, even a fraction. And I tried like tapping it and whatever. Now, one thing that it might have done is kind of settled it in a little bit, but it definitely nowhere near drove this post in. I think the hole that I dug was enough though. So I gave up on that and I put the tractor away. And while I was doing that, then Dad was checking to see how straight we got it, and then he started packing it in well. And in fairness, I didn't think it was going to work, because in my head I thought, oh, I'll bring up the tractor now, it'll knock it in really quickly and that'll be that done. So then when it didn't do that, I thought I was going to have to start digging a hole again, but I didn't, thankfully. So Dad's just packing that in. And I mean, who needs a proper tool when you've got an old banister rail? Because that is what he is using there to pack that in. And he actually said it was perfect for the job, and I have done quite a few more since then, and I can agree, it really does do the job. And yeah, this is it. This is what we were doing. It doesn't look that difficult now that I've it all edited and sped up, but trust me, in the heat of that day, I was wrecked after it. So there was only one thing left to do then. Get these guys up and let them in. And they thought all their Christmases had come at once, like they all do when they go into a reseed. They couldn't believe their luck, I'd say, after coming from where they did. But anyway, look, I'm on to doing the actual metal post now, so I'm going to give you a look at this, and sure, we can talk about it afterwards, because I feel like I've been doing this voice note for half the day. But yeah, here we go. How what? You want to just put a check on it for plumb? Oh yeah. Oh yes. Yeah. It's not bad anyway. I don't know, am I hitting concrete though? Am I going down any bit? It's definitely off a bit anyways. So we experienced a bit of a problem with our very first one there. As expected, the concrete is coming out a bit too far into the field, and obviously we don't want the posts to be too far into the field, because first of all we're taking away ground, but second of all it'll leave it quite untidy, and it will probably need to be trimmed or something, because the cattle will only get their heads in so far underneath it. So we're going to just put them slightly off to the side of the post, which isn't the look I was going for, because I thought it would look nice just to have them nice and sleek sitting in front of each post. But I think the fact that they are so slim and dainty themselves, it shouldn't look too bad. It's just a bit disappointing, but as I said, it was kind of expected. And at least this way now, we're just coming out a foot from the post, and we'll know we can do that the whole way down along without the concrete interfering. But so far so good with driving them. The first one there, I knew I was hitting concrete, because I was thinking, why is this not going anywhere? But as soon as I moved it slightly off from the post, it flew in. I think the posts are about 5 foot, just based on where it is up to myself, so a little bit awkward to get this over the top of it, because it's quite tight around it, but I mean absolutely nothing major, and not everyone is as vertically challenged as I am, fortunately for them. So, but yeah, it's going well so far. I'll throw in another few here now, and sure I can let you know how it goes. Yeah. Fell. It fell. Oh, yeah. I did one egg myself, and I did it off camera because I didn't want to make a show of myself. Did I have to rewatch the video of the guys fencing below? Yes, I did. Did I need to watch it 3 times? Yes, I did. And did I make it look anything like they did? No. But I'm trying. Right. I may end up speeding this up because he could be bored to tears. I have way too much wire. I am aware of that just now. This is called a termination knot. So at least I know that much. But after that, I know the guys told me to make a handle and all this crack. I don't know. I don't know how to make a handle. So I'm just going to do something like what they showed me to do. And hopefully it'll be okay. This is not going well. Of course it's not. But I can push this back in here. And I do not like working with wire. And then I can twist this around. Like, that does not look like anything theirs looked like. Why is that? Anyway, go on. Use my good hand at least. I might have some hope. 1, 2. There. The top one looks okay. It's not right, but got this in a bit tighter. God, that's a bit messy now, alright, but anyway. Be grand. Be grand. Okay, now that's that. Cut this off. They also showed me how to snap this wire so that it wouldn't leave like a rough surface, but I couldn't do it on the day, so I'm certainly not going to be able to do it now without the help of the guys. Arthur, I'm really sorry you did try, but I think I'm a lost cause. I'm going to just swing this over here a bit. And spider. No, that'll do. I mean, like, yeah, it doesn't look great. Don't look closely, hopefully. The camera isn't too close. There we go. Okay. And wire. And and the most awkward individual. There we go. Lift that up. Just in case you're wondering why I brought the eggs out so far from the end here, it's because the gate closes really close and I didn't want it electrifying the gate.
Oh jeez. Pull the other side now to even it up. Pull it out. Alright, keep going. You have enough of it there.
Okay.
Can you get more on it?
Oh,
No. Squeeze the handle or squeeze it apart so that you loosen up the wire, yeah? Are you back on?
Yeah.
Right, give it a bit of a... Hold it there now. You'll be better off now if you went with your Yorkies now.
Should I come off this?
No, leave it on there. Leave it on there.
So this is the first time I've used gripples. I didn't actually even know about them until the guys came and did the fencing for me. And they gave me a bit of a demo on how it worked, and I thought, you know what, that would be fierce handy because we have plenty of slack wire around the place and it would be very nice to tighten up some of it. So we used it on this one here. I just brought the wire in from either end, cross them over too much, as you can see from this, but anyway, and it just allowed me then to tighten the whole thing. Now ideally I would have really tightened up the excess wire and cut it off or whatever, but that high tensile stuff is difficult to work with, so I just left it on. You'll see it there looping up a bit. I took a bit off it and then I just wound it around the wire itself. And in fairness, when you stand back, you can't even see. But I do think these made a really nice job of it and a professional job. And the guys actually gave me the gripple tool, the fencing guys, and the gripples themselves were cheap enough. So I would actually recommend getting one of these tools. I think it does make quite a good job of the fence when you're done with it. But yeah. Learning something new all the time. Small bit. Well, now I have the job done there behind me, and I must say I'm happy enough with how it has turned out, especially for my standards anyway. I think it is quite a straight line there, and I do think it does look good up against the fence, although it wasn't exactly what we had kind of planned it to look like. I actually think it looks quite good. Oh, of course, the rain has started. I'll try and go behind the shed here and it might block it a bit for me. But yeah, that's what it's looking like. Hopefully it's picking it up on the camera. It is actually a couple of days since I had it done, but the weather has just been so bad I didn't get a chance to record. But sure, it's raining now again. You will see I have started the next phase as well. So I don't have this whole field done at all yet, but I have my straining posts in to do up along the road there as well. So I have another 3 straining posts in there. I might need a 4th, but I'm going to see how I go. But I think the 3 might be enough to do it. It's just a bit of an awkward shape there with the drain coming out, and we'll see how we get on. But I think I have the hard work done in digging the holes and getting the strainers in. I didn't record all of it. I was out here yesterday after the hurling in the lashing rain. I was soaked, but it actually wasn't miserable because it was really mild here. But I said, you know what, while the ground is soft now, I'm just going to dig the holes, get the straining posts in, gave them a couple of slaps with the sledgehammer, packed them in well, and they do seem to be fairly firm. So happy with that anyway. So I would think I'll get this place finished off fairly soon. You will notice one other thing. This field is empty and we still have grass here. The cows are over there because it just hasn't stopped raining. So I said, if they're going to do damage, they can do damage over in that field that isn't reseeded, and I'll just keep here until it dries. It is to dry over the next few days now, so they'll probably come in here in 2 days' time and hopefully it'll be all right. I'm not sure if you can pick it up on the camera as well though. The regrowth here as well, just these reseeds are amazing. the difference between here now and below where the cows came out of, this is twice as long, more than twice as long as down there. I was just talking to Dad there, and we're just going to get some fertilizer out down there because we need to keep the season going. But yeah, it's so slow down there, but it's just the difference between the new and the old pastures. But before I finish up this video today anyway, I do want to talk a little bit about the metal posts, because as I mentioned, it is something new to us and we were just trying them out really. But I am really happy with them. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Now, it's not only because of the metal posts. I have used gripples this time, as I mentioned, for the first time. And it's really given me some good tension on the wire. So I think it just looks like a neater job as well and everything. But I do think the Clip-X have helped as well. In terms of the workload, you just can't compare it to using the crowbar, putting in the timber post. The way I do it anyway, knocking it in with the sledgehammer, you are just cutting all the work out of it by using the metal post with the driver over it. And it is also really, really helpful with saving time. I mean, some of those I hit them maybe 3 times, 4 times, job done, they're in, they're done. Whereas again, with the crowbar, the timber and the sledgehammer, it just all takes that bit longer. So you can actually really get the job done very quickly. Even with the clips themselves, they are definitely quicker than putting in the insulators into the timber posts. So from that side of things, I'm really impressed with it. I also think it just looks really sleek. If you're away from it any distance at all, you can barely see that the fence is there. And I think for kind of a job like this where it's, you know, bouncing onto a house and a garden, it's nice as well. A couple of things that I found with it, like overall, I can't really complain. Obviously, a con, if you will, is obviously the price, the outlay initially of money. They are quite expensive. I think I paid $9.95 a post, and that was the cheapest I could get. I think I got free delivery, so I went with that. They're all around the same price, all the retailers that have them for sale. It's pretty much all that. I don't think I saw anything for over $9.99, to be honest. But I went with where I got them just because it came with free delivery as well. So I said, yeah, that'll do. So they are quite expensive. So you also have the clips then. I can't remember how much they were. I'll try and look it up and put it in here. But that again is an extra price on top of it. The driver for it itself, I think, was €29. Now, some people will say they'd probably make their own, but I said, especially, you know, for me anyway, I'm not going welding anything, so I'd have to get someone to make it for me anyway if I didn't buy that one. And I thought it was just handy to use the purpose-made one that will fit over it well. So yeah, look, you are talking about a bit of expense, but look, if they last as long as they say they will, I think it's just going to save an awful lot of work, a lot of time, and then I suppose the expense of replacing timber over the years. But we'll have to wait and see for that one. The other only little gripe I will have with them is the machining wasn't the best in all of them. So I don't know if I'll be able to show you here now, but you won't really be able to see it because the clip is in. But basically, this clip just sits in here, so easy. Some of them, 2 seconds, it just clipped in. But with others, the gap in here just wasn't machined quite as well as it needed to be for those to sit in easily. So it ended up being a bit too high for it to click in and close over it. So I actually had to get a screwdriver to a couple of them just to loosen up some of the metal that was there. So I would expect them to be a little bit better than that. But I mean, it is a small thing. It's just, I suppose, when you're paying that extra little bit, you want it to be right. But I mean, other than that, I am very impressed with them. I am very impressed with them. So we do have a fair few left. We'll definitely get up along there, and I'll probably do the other side, the other field on the other side with them as well. And we'll see what we do after that. We still have some timber posts above and stuff that we'll be using on other jobs. But yeah, that's it. Look, I just thought it might be somewhat interesting to show something a little bit different, and using something a bit different, something a bit newer on the market as well. But I'm going to leave this video here, and I'm going to do another bit of work on that section over there, and sure, I can show you when we have more work done in here. But as always, thank you for watching. If you liked it, give me a like, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Thank you.